We'll get rolling. First question will come from Josh Graham. Go ahead, Josh.
Coach, with Wake being tomorrow, I'm just curious, do you still have family ties to Winston-Salem? And when's the last time you visited Patterson Avenue?
It's been a while since I visited Patterson Avenue, but I go to Winston-Salem all the time. My mom is buried there. And I go to Winston, and my uncle's coming to the game. My dad, is coming to the game tomorrow. So I still have family in Winston-Salem, and I love it there.
Royal Howell, go ahead.
Good morning, Coach. How are we doing this morning?
Good.
Coach, in the last three games, the team has been 18-70 from downtown, 29-48 from the free throw line, and a 1-2 record in the last three games. What do you want to see from your team offensively to change that type of narrative? Do you want to still see them attack the hole, take open shots within the flow of the offense? What do you want to see to kind of rectify the recent slide?
Well, the one surprising thing is the stat from the free throw line. There's no secret. A huge part of our success is attacking the basket, whether it's post or penetration, and being able to score at the basket and being able to get fouled and get to the free throw line. And that's not only do I like getting to the free throw line, I feel like we're a good free throw shooting team. And over the last three games, we just haven't shot the ball well from the free throw line. And so that's something that my hope is that we can definitely get back to and improve on. The threes in the Pitt game and also in the Syracuse game, you're just that's interesting. The Syracuse game, you're going to have to shoot some threes against that 2-3 zone. It just is what it is. The Pitt game, I felt like we shot too many, and we felt like that we got away from attacking the basket through post or penetration. And I get, against Duke, I felt like we attacked the basket. It was also a little bit more difficult with Lively in the middle because of his ability to block shots and alter shots. But at the end of the day, from three, we've had some wide open looks, especially the last two games, and we just haven't hit them. And so at the end of the day, we make 1 or 2 threes in Pitt, 1, 2 threes against Duke, and it's a whole different story. And so with the open shots, I encourage those guys to shoot open shots, and at the end of the day, we're just going to have to make them.
Thanks, Coach.
We'll go next to Andrew Jones. Go ahead, Andrew.
Hey, Coach. Hope you're well today.
Good.
What is your philosophy on when to call set plays as opposed to when have your guys go freelance? And how often is there's a percentage range, if you can, that do you have your guys run freelance?
No, after if we get scored on, I call a play. On a missed shot, I allow them to get out in transition and go into freelance. And if I feel like in any one of our sets, once we if we don't get anything out of our half court set, we have an organized freelance that they automatically go into. And so rarely do they go into like freelance where they're just not, there's no play, there's no structure, they're just playing. But most of the time, there's a half court set after a made basket, and then there's order into our transition. And if we don't have something in our half court set, there's organized freelance that we get into just to make sure that we've got the spacing and the balance and the movement to allow us to get a good shot. The times that we struggle is when we go off script and go rogue and go outside of that and then try to do something other than what we've talked about in practice.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Trayvon Miles, go ahead, sir.
Hey, Coach, how you doing this morning?
Good. How are you?
Pretty good. I just wanted to ask about some of the parallels to last year with 4 of those 5 starters coming back. You talked a lot last year about preaching toughness and preaching staying in the moment. Did you envision having to do that again this year with 4 of those 5 starters coming back to the team? Is that something that you thought about and that you knew you would have to fight through, even though those guys were coming back with experience? albeit you have some new guys there as well.
Yeah, that's something that we're going to have to do every year. I mean, it doesn't matter if they're returning players or new players. Talking about addressing and coaching and understanding, the level of competitive fight and toughness that you have to have in order to have a chance to win. I think that's something that you have to do every year. I never came into this year feeling as if, okay, 4 of the 5 starters are coming back. I can take my foot off the pedal and, it'll run itself. I've never felt that way at all. And I knew that this year, which is a new year, the only time that I think about last year is, when you guys ask me a question about last year, I just don't. This year is this year's team, even though that you have returning players. I think in some ways they're the same, but I think in some ways they're different. And it's just a different team. It's a different makeup. It's a different year. And I knew that coming into the year that coaching and preaching the toughness and the perseverance and the digging deeper aspect of it, that I would have to do that again this year. And I'm expecting to have to do that again next year too.
Thanks, Coach.
Michael Coe, go ahead.
Good morning, Hubert. It's been almost a month since actually more than a month since you played Wake Forest in Chapel Hill back in January. How have you seen them grow and evolve in the time period since you'll be playing them tomorrow?
Well, I think, obviously he's continued to play extremely well. He's one of the better players in our conference, and he's having, an all ACC season. It's a team that, and I don't know what they'll do against us, but over the last couple of games, they've gone small with Carr at the 5, and that's made them different in terms of, from an offensive standpoint, being more dynamic in terms of being able to stretch the floor and shoot the ball from 3. I feel like Masanto has become more aggressive. He can really shoot, but like now he's more aggressive. And you combine that with his confidence. I think over the last 5 games, he's averaging like 19 points a game. And so that wasn't the case the first time that we played them. And so, this is the ACC in February. Doesn't matter whether you're at home or on the road. It's going to be a challenge for us. But again, we're excited about the challenge, and we had a really good practice yesterday, and I'm expecting to have a great practice today and be ready to play tomorrow against a really good Wake Forest team.
Thanks, Coach.
We've got time for one more quick question from Ross Martin. Go ahead.
Hey, Coach, just going through the shooting percentages. I mean, in the loss against Pitt, 34.8% from the field, and the Duke 34.3%, and especially the Duke game outscored 20-2 in fast break points. I was wondering, I know about 4 weeks ago, you said you weren't worried about the offense, you were worried about defense.
Yeah.
How do you get, I guess, this team back on track offensively from getting easy baskets, from getting out in transition? I mean, it seems like y'all are struggling to score those easy baskets and getting good high percentage field goal shots.
I agree with you. We've got to, recommit ourselves to running. I don't think we're running as well as we were, a couple weeks ago. I felt like our wings a couple weeks ago were consistently running. Our bigs were running really hard down the middle of the floor and giving us an opportunity in the paint. I just, for whatever reason, we're not running in transition. All of us, all 5 guys, consistently the way that we have in the past. And so we've got to do a better job of that. Armando has been dominant down low on the posts, but we need him to be aggressive to trying to get the ball down low on the post, and that's huge for us. And I also think, especially in the last couple of games, I think there's times where we settle for that outside jump shot, and we just got to get better at it, and again, I'm not worried about the offense. I feel like we can score. I think we've had open shots from 3 that we have not made. I think we're a good free throw shooting team, and we haven't shot the ball well over the last couple of weeks from the free throw line. And so my hope is that we'll shoot better, not only against Wake Forest, but just moving forward.
Thank you.
Hubert, thank you for the time today. Appreciate it. We'll see
Okay,
you
have a
soon.
great day, guys. Okay,
Thank
see you
you.
later.
You too.
Okay, bye.